Hey cats, what's happening? It is a cold, crummy day, rainy. Last few days, probably for the last 3 days, it's been like summertime. The temperature was up almost near 80 degrees day before yesterday. Yesterday was another beautiful day. It was great bike riding. In between the work that I had to do, it was nice just to get out and blow the stink off a little bit. But I got to thinking about, motorcycles again and my love for motorcycles and motorcycling and just, knowing you guys, other bikers and things like that. And I was thinking about the different makes and models, and there's so many different motorcycles to choose from. It's like, how do you know what's the right bike for you? I feel like this bike's perfect for me, but I think I would be pretty happy if I had an Ultra that had all the bells and whistles on it. I think I would like that a lot. But I love this bike. I love how it performs. I love the sound of it. And it fits me really nice. Now, as far as comfort goes, I'm sure there's some more comfortable bikes. I was remembering back years ago, I took somebody to get their motorcycle endorsement. And when you went to do that, you had to drive through the cones and go through this course. And, they had a nice little small bike that they used to go through the course and didn't have any trouble. But there was one cat there that had an old Kawasaki 900. And, it wasn't that the bike was that big, but the guy was a little runt. He was just a little sawed-off, short, stocky kid. And the instructor said, are you sure you want to go through the course on that Kawasaki? Because that's kind of a cumbersome bike to go through these cones with and everything. There's other options. You could have a smaller bike to run through here, maybe borrow somebody else. Nope. He says, I'm going through it on this bike. That's what I brought. That's what I'm going to ride. So I said, okay. So the kid goes through the course flawlessly. Didn't nick a cone or anything, went through the whole course and got his driver's motorcycle endorsement. So, even though for his size that bike didn't seem to fit him, he made it adapt pretty well. Now, I think when you go out to look for a bike, it depends. There's a couple different things that it's going to depend on. Number one, what are you going to use it for? If you're just going to be a commuter and take it to work and back every day, you don't need a great big dresser or anything. Just something simple that easy, maybe something that's really reliable, that's good on fuel, and you can't beat a motorcycle for that. And you probably don't need a whole lot of luggage if you're just going to work and back. Maybe something to carry a lunchbox in or something, or a cooler, and you're good to go. On the other hand, though, if you're planning on doing a lot of traveling, a lot of touring, then you're going to look at a big touring bike. You want something that's going to have comfort, it's going to have power, it's going to protect you from the elements somewhat. You're going to look at a bigger dresser. Now, there's so many other options out there for motorcycles. See, now the newest thing is these adventure bikes. So it's a very versatile motorcycle that is adaptable to trail as well as it is on the street. It's made to handle in all situations. And those are pretty cool. I was really interested in that for a while. I thought, wow, that would be pretty neat. And then I actually found where you could, there was this company that did adventure trips where they actually had the adventure bikes, and you paid them a fee and you could hook up with them, and it was kind of like like an all-in-one, all-inclusive. So you paid them the fee, and then they'd take it. You stop at different hotels, but depending on where you wanted to go, you could do an adventure trip in Alaska. You could do one in South Africa. You could do one across the United States. They handled all the details. They even had the bike, and you just went along for the ride, and they had a guide that just took you the whole way through. I thought, man, that would be pretty cool, because you're riding with a bunch of other bikers too. And it seemed like it was kind of a thing where you could kind of gain some camaraderie with some of these people and end up having a pretty good time. But the cost was a little more than what I was willing to fork out for that. It'd probably be cheaper just to go out and buy an adventure bike of your own and go on your own adventure. Yeah, so there's all those different options, but the other thing is, you got to match your size too. So when you get on a bike, when you sit on the bike, you want a bike that you're going to be able to put your both feet flat on the ground. You don't want something you're going to be on your tippy toes on. My brother brought his Yamaha 250 motocross bike over, and I never realized. I rode my dirt bike when I was a kid and didn't seem to have any trouble getting on and off of it. My brother's bike, though, that thing was so high I could barely swing my leg over the seat. And he says, well, you got to kickstart it. And I says, okay, how am I going to kickstart this when I can't even, I'm on my tiptoes trying to hold this thing up. He said, if you want to ride it, you got to start it, and that you just got to figure out how to do it. Well, I figured out how to do it, and I was able to ride around the property with it, and then it was a blast. It had a lot of power, and it was a fun bike. But I'm too old for that anymore, because if I were to bite the dust and hit the ground, I wouldn't fare too well, it would hurt. But yeah, you want a bike that fits your size too. So, and if you're going to do a lot of touring and stuff, comfort is important. So you want a nice saddle that's comfortable for your butt, but also, the adjustment or the type of handlebars as to where your arms are going to end up for your ride is important as well. Maybe your size too. There's some pretty big guys out there. And you want a bike that has a little bit of power that's going to pull you up and down the road. If you get too small of an engine, it's going to strain. Some of these bikes have balls and some of them don't. So you have to consider that just as well. But as for that, I certainly would like to have a Ultra, a big dresser. If you've watched my videos, I've dreamed about it for years. Some people said, oh, Itchy, just go ahead and pull the plug, go get it. Well, given my situation right now, I'm glad I didn't, because I got too much going on right now, and the thing would just be sitting here most of the time. This bike, it fills my desire to ride when I can just take it out and ride around the country a little bit and come back and park it in the garage. And then continue on with whatever I got to do. Anyway, I haven't had a whole lot of time to ride. Every afternoon, late afternoon, I clean up and I head to see my wife, who's currently in the hospital. Yeah, she was in a nursing facility, but she got pretty sick. And she started having seizures again and ended up back in the hospital. Now they're telling me that she has some pneumonia, and she may also have a blood infection. They're all serious things, and it's pretty scary, but the hospital that she's in seems to be taking the best care of her possible. The other thing you guys may have wanted an update on was my wheelchair ramp that I've been building. Now, yesterday, I had all these plans to build this thing, and I started out about $1,000 worth of lumber. And then the more I figured it, I wanted to take it to the garage door, and I thought, well, I'll bring her from the house down this ramp and get to get her right in the garage and right over to the car. But then I thought, wow, that takes up the whole front yard, you know. I'm not sure that I like that. I don't know what to do. Well, my brother has a construction company that he owns, and he's done all kinds of, even putting up building construction, but his forte is doing decks and fences, and he's kind of narrowed his company down to that, and they do like high-end decks and fences for, you know, people that have lots of money, and they do not just wooden, any kind of fence and any kind of deck, doesn't matter, and they're professionals. Well, my brother came out yesterday and he brought all of his high-tech equipment, and he says, let's take a look at what you're doing here. And he took a look at my boardwalk, my ramp, and he said, you know, why do you want to go all the way to the garage? You're just chasing this grade. This is all downhill. And he says, you're just going to keep zigzagging, and you're never going to get down to where you need to be. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. He said, I got an idea. Let's bring it down, turn it, and take it right over here. And this is where it ends up right now, which is perfect. The only thing I gotta do is get some more of these paver bricks and probably take out some of this ivy here and get a little, like a paver brick sidewalk just coming right off of here, zip over to there, and fill that in. And that meets the grade. It's all a 12-to-1 pitch, so it's right on the money. Come off the house, zip, 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 and into the car, if I ever get her home. So that's where we're at with that. And I was so happy that my brother came out and redesigned this. I mean, they already had some construction going out this way, and he said, let's go ahead and take that out. We disassembled a whole day's work that I had done. We disassembled everything, and bam, bam, we did this, and he saved me like $600 of lumber. So what I've got in this right now, just a little bit over $1,000 in material. And there's not a better choice as far cost-wise to get a wheelchair into the house. You know, we talked about an elevator, we talked about other options and different approaches for ramps and whatever. This is perfect. I'm happy. So I'm trying to finish this up, but it's been raining today, and I was dodging the raindrops, trying to get some stuff done on it, and I made a little bit of headway today. But you see, I'm just putting up handrails right now. So I basically got like one section of handrail up there, but I've still got more posts to install. A little more work to do. But anyway, it's that time of day again. It's not to mention cold and still raining. I'm gonna kind of wrap things up here, tidy things up, and get myself cleaned up and go see my precious wife, who's having a really difficult time. Thanks so much for the prayers, for the support, for all you guys being behind me, for all your good wishes. That means so much to me. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will keep you along on this ride. Wherever it's going to take me, I don't know. But I'll keep you guys hanging along with me. Till next time, cats, ride hard and die free.